Hello. I am going to talk today about why it's worth my time, hopefully your time, to talk about my upcoming haircut and things that I plan on doing for the future. If it was just a guy going to get a haircut, well, that wouldn't be too interesting or worth your time. However, what this has to do with anything is that what I'd share with you, and I've talked about a little of this in the past, is that about 20 years ago when I got sober, I embraced the name Dakota and I stepped towards the Native American culture and ancestry as I was guided to do. And that's a big, long story that, by the way, if you haven't read the story about how I got my name, it is a good story, and it's posted in my website, and if I can remember, I'll put a link up, and so you can read about that if anybody's at all interested. But so what happened was that I decided that as part of the Native American culture and spirituality and that kind of a thing, the people would grow their hair out to gain powers, how it was described. But you see, in the Native American tradition, as I best understand it, and I did a pretty deep dive on the culture, is that all power comes from the source. And so basically growing hair out is an act of commitment to connection to spirit. And so while it's really obvious that this is no kind of a style, and trust me, as I've been single during my years of having my hair grown out, it is not something that the general population finds to be, of women, finds to be all that appealing. Still, the commitment to the idea of it lived on, and it was such a commitment to it that as I got my private practice and knew that there would be a barrier to looking as I do and getting a clientele that might be not just accepting of it, but might embrace it, which is how I had to market myself. As a matter of fact, the advertisement that drove all of my business for all of those years starts out with the words that I guarantee I bring something unique and valuable to the therapeutic relationship, which the Attorney General had a problem with and gave me a cease and desist order, which I had overcome and felt very good about that because, score one for the little guy. In any case, that drove all of my business, and it drove the right kind of people to me, the kind of people that would gain value from a therapist that was not buttoned down and sweater vested and bow tied and saying, how do you feel about that all of the time. My clients really valued the fact that I came at them as a real, sincere, flawed, perhaps transcendent in some regards, individual that was there to help them, and that all of those years that I had my hair grown as a commitment to the Native American ancestry and spirituality, it was it was a commitment. It was not easy to do in a lot of regards, but nonetheless a commitment. Now, as I have closed down my business for all practical purposes. Maybe we can say it's in mothballs, but I don't know what's going to happen after this. My decision has been that now that I don't need to look like I'm buttoned-down therapist, that since I'm going through a time of transcendence, as I did 20 years ago when I got sober, that an outward expression of this inward transcendence will be to cut my hair this time. And so I like the idea of it, and when I had my last session a few weeks ago, that was my intention, and I managed to only get 5 inches cut of it. Now, the idea surrounding this is that it is a journey and not an event, and by it I mean my transcendence from whatever I've been these past 20 years to whatever I'm becoming as I move through the cancer, as I intend to detoxify my life and my health and live a much more pure, even though I had been fairly pure, especially relative to all of the funky stuff I was doing back in the day. But, not but, and I intend to transcend a lot of ways. I hope to have a diminished ego beyond what I've already accomplished as I move forward. I have some ideas how this might happen, and I intend to work on that, and it's going to be an effort. It's not a guarantee by any means, but I've been able to accomplish far, far more than I could have imagined in my wildest dreams, so I imagine I'll be able to accomplish this transcendence as well. Now, as part of the transcendence and part of what I will be doing in the future and why this is worthwhile for the Mental Health Free-for-All website or channel, is that, well, the following things I have planned to do as I move into this different time in my life. And the YouTube channel is one of them, and I'm really, really happy that it's manifesting, and you know, I hope that it has the value for all concerned that I think it can have, maybe is having. The other thing is that because I've led such a rich and involved and a life of what do you call it? Not transformation, but oh God, there's a word that applies perfectly here, but I can't think of it. In any case, the story that I have to tell regarding my life. People have said very, very often that I should write a book. Well, so, yeah, that's my intention as well, to write a book. Another thing that I plan on doing is that I have a idea about a drug and alcohol addiction prevention program that I am thoroughly convinced will have a huge impact on the world, really, if it gets in front of the right people with the right resources and is able to go through trials and this kind of a thing. It has not been tried, as far as I know. It is a complex and involved program that I've developed, but I haven't taken the time to manifest it because I've been busy just doing my work. And I've put this idea in front of several directors of treatment programs, and they agree with me. They say, yeah, this will work. I've talked to different counselors in the field. I've talked to different psychotherapists and lay people, and every single one of them has given me positive feedback about the likelihood that this is something that can change not just lives, but the culture as it stands right now. And I know that's a big, big, big statement. Well, so we'll just have to see. And I'm looking forward to all of these things. And what we're going to start with, though, is I think that the next time that I post, it's probably pretty likely that our first step will be to get rid of this. I think we'll work on this in a piecemeal fashion. First this, then the mustache, then the hair. My intention is to have this done within a week. So, cheers. We'll see how it goes. Bye.